Sullivan's Crossing Season 3 proved this redeemed character should be the show's focus, not Maggie. Have you ever seen a show so wildly determined to sabotage its own main character that it accidentally redeemed her worst enemy? Because that's exactly what just happened in Sullivan's Crossing Season 3, and trust me, it's not Maggie who deserves our sympathy anymore. I'm Sophia, and welcome to Breakdown Epic, the only channel brave enough to ask, what if the real heroine of Sullivan's Crossing was the one we were supposed to hate from the start? I know. That sounds like the kind of take you'd only hear from someone deranged enough to still defend the final season of Dexter. But hear me out, because in a twist more shocking than Maggie's surprise husband, yes, Hospi Season 3 quietly made one of its most irritating side characters into someone actually inspiring, someone relatable, someone who should be leading the show now. So tell me this, why are we still pretending Maggie's the emotional core of the series, when Lola just delivered the real character arc we've been begging for? Let's unpack this secret the show doesn't want you to admit. The truth that Sullivan's Crossing just proved. Whether it meant to or not, Lola Gunderson should replace Maggie Sullivan as the lead of the series. And no, that's not a typo. That's the forbidden knowledge. Let's just call it what it is. Sullivan's Crossing Season 3's finale wasn't a shocking twist. It was a desperation play. After spending an entire season pretending Maggie and Call were finally in a stable relationship, the writers pulled a rabbit out of the hat. Or should I say, a husband out of thin air.
Seriously, Magina husband!
A legal one. From a summer fling that apparently no one ever thought to mention across 3 full seasons. Come on. That's not a twist. That's emotional fraud. And here's where it gets worse. This isn't just about Maggie having secrets. It's about the writers hitting the reset button on her entire arc, just to stir the pot again. You know what that means. Get ready for another season of Maggie crying in Sully's kitchen, Cal doing the sad puppy face, and some dragged out love triangle we've already emotionally outgrown. It's like we're watching Virgin River, but with amnesia. But meanwhile, something incredible was happening just off screen. Lola Gunderson, yes, that Lola, was quietly going through one of the most realistic, heartbreaking, and powerful transformations the show's ever attempted, and nobody's talking about it, until now. So if you haven't already, pause, smash that subscribe button, and become part of the only community that actually says what we're all thinking. This is Breakdown Epic, and we don't sugarcoat the truth. Here's the secret, Lola Gunderson's redemption arc is not only better than Maggie's, it's everything Sullivan's Crossing needed. And if you're laughing at that idea, you probably still remember Season 1 Lola, the bratty, impulsive, emotionally reactive mess who made every scene tenser just by existing. She was the worst. Let's not sugarcoat it. But that's exactly why she matters now. Because unlike Maggie, whose character arc is starting to feel like a hamster wheel, Lola actually grew. She faced her childhood trauma, made peace with her past, and, in a moment that completely changed the way I saw her, she told Jacob to leave. She didn't beg. She didn't manipulate. She didn't make it about her. She just looked this guy she cared about in the eyes and said, "Go back to college. You deserve a life bigger than this town. And I won't be the reason you stay small." Are you kidding me? That's not just maturity. That's grace. And it came from the same character who once seemed physically allergic to empathy. Do you see what I'm saying now? Maggie is still stuck in the same cycle. Same dad issues. Same relationship problems. Same career love struggle we've seen 100 times. But Lola, she evolved. She changed. She grew the heck up. And if that's not the kind of character you build an entire season around, I don't know what is. Okay, real talk. Who would you rather follow in Season 4A? Another 10 episodes of Maggie crying over Cal while Ghost, hubby Liam stares dramatically from a truck window. Or Lola opening a new chapter of her life, maybe even mentoring other girls in Sullivan's Crossing, while building something real from scratch. Drop it in the comments right now. Type TMAGE if you still believe she deserves that spotlight. Or Lola Resig if you're with me. And yes, I'll be reading every single response, even the trolls. Also, if you watched my breakdown of Season 2's mid-season twist, remember when I said, Maggie peaked too early, and now the show doesn't know what to do with her? Yeah, that aged like fine wine. This isn't hate. This is honesty. And if you can handle that, you're my kind of viewer. Now let's ask a painful hypothetical. What if Maggie had made the same decision Lola made with Jacob? What if Maggie told Cal, "You need to go live your own life. You don't need to wait for me to figure out who I am"? I mean, what if? That would have been real. That would have been powerful. That would have been character growth. But instead, we got another storyline that treats adult relationships like bad high school drama. And no offense, I loved high school drama. But I also love moving past it. Now let's do a little side by side, shall we? Maggie, still unsure what she wants from life. Constantly caught between her past and her present. Emotionally guarded, until the script forces a monologue. Literally hiding a husband like it's a casual Tinder match. Lola owns her messy past, makes choices based on growth not guilt. Emotionally open, even when it hurts, sacrifices love for someone else's future. Tell me who sounds more like the lead in a character-driven drama, who sounds more like someone with a future arc. So in part 1, we asked the question no one else would dare say out loud. What if Lola, the reformed chaos agent of Sullivan's Crossing, is actually the character we should have been rooting for this whole time. But now it's time to go deeper. Because this surprise husband twist, it isn't just weird writing. It might be exposing a secret flaw in Maggie Sullivan that completely explains why she's stuck in this endless cycle. And when you stack that next to Lola's rise, the contrast is almost too perfect to ignore. Let's pull back the curtain, because once you see this pattern, you won't unsee it. Here's the forbidden truth: Maggie doesn't grow, she deflects. Every time she's faced with emotional intimacy, instead of confronting it, she does what she always does: she escapes. Remember season 1? The moment Sully needed her, she ran off to Boston. Season 2, the second her relationship with Cal became stable, she sabotaged it with emotional distance. And now, right when everything is finally calm, a husband appears from her secret past. You really think that's a coincidence? No, that's a pattern. That's emotional sabotage in disguise. And the writers, intentionally or not, are showing us that Maggie cannot let herself be happy, because she still hasn't figured out who she is without chaos. She thrives in the storm. Lola, on the other hand, she's trying to build peace. Let's talk emotional intelligence, or as I like to call it, TV character currency. Maggie's currency: guilt, regret, responsibility. Lola's currency now: clarity, maturity, forgiveness. And she earned it. She's not suddenly perfect. She still has doubts. She still lashes out sometimes. She still second guesses her decisions. But that's real. That's human. And when she told Jacob to go live his dream, that wasn't just growth. That was love without possession. Do you get how rare that is in a romance drama? She didn't cling. She didn't beg. She let him go because it was right. Now contrast that with Maggie, whose choices are always reactive. It's like watching someone try to solve a puzzle that keeps changing, because she keeps changing the pieces. It's not compelling anymore. It's exhausting. Okay, thought experiment time. Imagine season 4 starts, and it's not Maggie opening the episode. It's Lola. She's walking through the campground, passing where she used to throw tantrums, where she screamed at Frank, where she pushed Jacob away. But this time, she's grounded, focused, maybe even mentoring a teen guest going through her own crisis. Wouldn't that hit so much harder? Tell me, wouldn't that be the moment you finally said, wow, this show's evolving? Or we can get another season of Maggie Whisper, sobbing through passive-aggressive arguments with Cal, while everyone around them pretends Liam's presence isn't a literal walking grenade. Your call. Drop your verdict in the comments. Let's settle this. La La Vey's Magi Season 4 edition. And remember when I said Maggie reminds me of someone from Pretty Little Liars? Yeah, that's not just shade. Think about it. Both shows rely on secrets, slow burn trauma, and relationship ping pong. But PL did the same thing: it picked the wrong lead. The character everyone thought was the main girl, she became a symbol of stagnation. Meanwhile, the messy side characters, they grew, they became complex, they transformed. Sound familiar? Because if Sullivan's Crossing keeps banking on Maggie's trauma for plot twists, while ignoring Lola's quiet rise into strength, they're making the exact same mistake. Here's the kicker. And if this happens, you better come back here and say, Sophia called it. Lola's not just redemption bait, she's being set up as the long game lead. Why? Because shows like this thrive on emotional investment. And guess what? We've seen every inch of Maggie's spiral, but Lola's just getting started. Imagine this: Jacob returns, but this time he's the one who feels inadequate. Lola becomes the one people in town go to for advice, just like Sully. And eventually, she and Maggie switch roles completely. The fixer becomes the foundation, and the prodigal daughter becomes the warning. That's storytelling evolution. That's a handoff between arcs. And if Sullivan's Crossing is smart, they'll lean into that. Because Lola is what Maggie was supposed to become. Now look, if you told me back in season 1 that I'd be sitting here passionately defending Lola of all people, I would have laughed you out of the campground. Like, girl, please. This is the same person who tried to emotionally detonate every relationship in a 5-mile radius, remember? But that's why this hits so hard. Because when that person starts making healthy choices, it gives the rest of us hope too. It reminds us we're not trapped in our worst selves. Even if we started as the villain, we can still choose something better. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather root for someone trying to become a hero than someone pretending she already is one.